Pretty Nerdz. 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 Pretty Nerdz.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Pretty Nerdz podcast. This is your girl Falan DeAnn.
And this is your girl Nay.
Alrighty, and how are you doing?
I'm good. Tired. I'm doing a fast for I think I'm on day, I don't know. I'm going to, Christmas will be day 9. So this has been a couple of days. But I've actually been sticking to it. I'm super proud of myself. I'm going to end it at Christmas. But I just wanted to get I don't know. I always fast because it gives me good mental, it makes me feel better mentally and physically and stuff like that when I'm feeling stressed. So, but this is a long one, so tells you how much stress I've been under. What about yourself?
I've been good. Ready for spring already. What type of fast are you doing?
Just some juices and herbal teas.
Okay. You're always good at fast.
I love to do them. I don't know what it is. It's I guess it's just the feeling afterward. I feel so much better after I've done it, after being able to stick to it. I feel like I accomplished something. All right. Well, I guess we can go ahead and jump into the hot topic since it's been a while, about 2 weeks since we've been on the air. Get right into the craziness, the little shenanigans. First and foremost, I want to go ahead and start with the really quick hitters, the good news that we can get out the way. Fantasia and her husband announced that they were preggers and that she's having a baby. So congrats to them. We love good news in the time of COVID and 2020 and all the craziness that we've had. So it's good to see a couple who is actually making it, and not only that, bringing a life into the world. So congrats to them. Also, Ariana Grande and her boyfriend announced yesterday, or I think the day before, I don't know, might have been the day before, that they are engaged to be married. So congratulations to Ari. She definitely went through a rough couple of years, so I'm happy that she found happiness and love. So good for her on that.
Yeah.
And then also, I guess, even though it came with a bunch of drama surrounding it, but Danny Lee and DaBaby, they finally went Instagram official. There had been speculation, obviously, of him and her being together, him bouncing back and forth with the baby moms, but it seems like, I guess, he has officially made his decision. So him and Danny Lee are together, and ever since they went Instagram official, it's literally every single day.
Picture.
Yeah. But yeah, congrats to them. I'm always happy for people if they're happy. So
yeah, I just want to see how that's gonna play out. Be like, child,
yeah,
Christmas he go and see his kids, and then somehow he gonna be back with his baby mama. But
yeah, agreed. All right, so let's jump into some of the bigger topics. We can start with the heavy so that we can get it out of the way, because I don't want to spend a crazy amount of time on it. But we did finally get a COVID vaccine. It was approved. 2 separate ones have been approved. One from Pfizer and then the one from Moderna. It's also been approved. They've started rolling it out to first responders, healthcare officials. I think soon Congress is going to start getting it. And some of the elderly as well has started to receive it. So what are your thoughts?
I want to be excited, but at the same time, I'm leery of it as well. Yeah, I don't know. And I'm contemplating. I'm so when it's my turn, am I going to take it or not? I don't know. I don't know. I just hope, my thought is that I hope it provides the relief that we all need, not just in the U.S., but across the world. I think it has just like torn families apart with death, sickness, and loss. And just for the sake of people being stupid as well. Like people still out here not want to wear their mask, social distance, want to go to gatherings of 200-300 people. So hopefully that just like alleviates some burden off like healthcare workers and all of that. So yeah.
Agreed. I'm definitely, you know me, I'm a skeptic. I don't even really fuck with the flu shot. I will say though that with this one, I feel like because we are so like, I feel like the chances of us like when it's our turn to get it probably will be so like late, next year, late spring, maybe summertime before it actually starts rolling out to us. I feel like by then enough people will have gotten it, and I've seen enough results and kind of seen how other people have reacted to it and things like that to really kind of make up my mind to, or to kind of convince myself by then to want to go take it or, to go get it. I will say that being in the state that we are in, in Tennessee, and it being, the number one, and having the dumbest fucking governor on earth who refuses to do a statewide mask mandate, that really does push me to want to be like, well, if I'm stuck in this state, then shit, I may have to suck it up and actually take this vaccine because these folks are fucking stupid.
Listen, and just to be like, even though there's no mandate, but Jesus, like, put your mask on.
Exactly.
Like it's such a small thing, and I still don't understand why people. Because I'm like, shit, we've been this way at least since midsummer, where we found out, hey, masks do help.
Right.
I mean, at this point, it's a fucking mask. Let it go.
I don't get the protest. It's not even complicated. Just throw the little mask on for whenever you in these spaces. Keep your distance apart and you know what I mean? Like, what's the issue?
And now stores be giving it out because I ain't gonna lie. I walked in Kroger, me trying to get the baby out the car and deal with him, walk clean in Kroger with no mask on. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have a mask on. And people looking at me weird. So I asked one of the workers, I was like, do y'all sell masks? And he was like, yeah. He was like, no, I just go get you one. So I'm like, they're available. Like when I take the baby to the doctor, I go to the doctor, they're like, if you need a mask, we'll give you one. So I mean, I don't know. It's just weird the things that people protest and they all look the fucking same to be protesting.
Listen, girl. Look, and then be the first ones to want to yell, we want to get back to work. We want to go back to the bars and this, that, and the, well, shit, y'all the reason we can't.
Right. Put a mask on.
Yeah.
And wash your hands.
Look, girl, hold on. I gotta, this is, so I was at the gym, right? And my thing is like, first of all, we're in the middle of a pandemic. The gym is already super germy. And so, you know what I mean? Like just all of those different things. And I said to myself, I know that people being that, they know that COVID is going on, they gonna wash their hands. I literally was in the locker room and seen this girl. She just walked right, come out the bathroom, walk right out. And I'm just like, sis, like what the fuck? I don't, you know what I mean? Like I would think that, but then again, I'm like, I guess even a pandemic won't make y'all wash hands. Like it's disgusting. I can't.
I wonder if like the Moors are looking down, like, so y'all just gonna not follow our advice on what to do to keep yourself clean and healthy? Yeah.
Look, shit. It's beyond me at this point. Oh, complete and utter disgust. Also, along with the vaccine discussion, the new Surgeon General, I don't know if he's new. Has the new Surgeon General taken over yet? Shit, I don't know. The Surgeon General. Is it the same one?
Yeah, it's the same one.
Okay. Girl, I don't know. At this point, there's so much mess with like even with that still, with Trump and his people and just anyway. But the Surgeon General called out LeBron James, saying that he should lead by example and take the vaccine. I was a little confused on that, just because I didn't think I mean, from what the NBA commissioner said, is that they're not, they're not ahead of anybody as far as who gets to take the vaccine. So why would he call out LeBron specifically? Like, he don't get to get the vaccine before anybody else. When it's their time to get it, I'm sure if he makes the decision to, he'll take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it was more of, which I still don't agree with, is that Black people don't trust, the vaccine. But it's just weird that you would call out LeBron. You a Black man, take the shit your fucking self.
Agreed.
Like, why you gotta? And I'm like, and it's a personal choice, no matter how we look at it. If it becomes mandatory for his job or whatever, it's still his personal choice whether he wants to take it. And for you to call on him to be like, oh, you should take it so people would trust it. People still don't trust it because people like, well, I wonder if that's the same, vaccine that we gonna get.
Right.
I'm like, so that's not, I'm like, the only thing I think now that would help people would be to see how it all works out, in the end. Like, okay, how many people are going to get sick? What are the side effects of being sick? Like, what reactions are they having? Me seeing LeBron take it ain't going to make me be like, okay.
Correct.
That makes it worse. Be like, okay, rich. We know rich people get treated different. Reason why rich people can go into the hospital and come out, with the worst case of COVID and come out fine. And then you have poor people that go in with the worst case and don't make it. So
right. That's correct. That is correct. And I forgot to mention that too. I'm also concerned about like the symptoms as far as just for people with allergies. Because I know I have severe allergies. Like I'm always, during the spring and summer, I stay allergy medicine down. I have horrible sinus infections all throughout the year. So just seeing, I have food allergies. So just seeing all these people.
Now, I did read that with people with allergies, I don't know if that's going to change.
Mm-hmm.
That people with severe allergies, I guess you would need to maybe like consult with your doctor more to see if it's a good fit for you to actually take.
Right. See, that's why I'm like, there's too many questions around the thing right now. So that's why I am a little bit glad though that we are kind of further back on that list, because like I said, we get to see it in other people first, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Because that's why I was like, it'll be a while before we actually take it. You have kids that won't be able to take it because I think it's no one under the age of 18.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I am wondering how it's going to affect, like you said, because it is for, they do have for the vaccine that it is under the age of 18. So I wonder how it's going to affect school. Like, how are they going to solve that whole issue?
Yeah. It's going to be weird because, I mean, you still have to think of the kids if they're going to school. I mean, and the cases are rising amongst them. It's like, well, what would happen with them? Like, I don't know. I guess we the majority of society, so if we don't get it, then we can't pass it to the kids. Hopefully.
Yeah, I'm hoping something, because if you think about it, this virtual learning thing is just not. I mean, it's easy as as easy as it is for us, like when we're in college and all this stuff like that. I think because we're a little bit more mature and all of that. But like with these younger kids and all that stuff like that, virtual learning just isn't working. But at the same time, I can understand for parents why they're like so weary, because we've all been to school. We know school is overpacked. It's gross. You know what I mean? Like, there is no such thing at school. There is essentially no such thing as fucking social distance. Let's be honest. So I just, it's such it's like a rock in a hard place, I think, with the whole school thing. So I want to see how, they're gonna figure that whole process out.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel bad for the babies because I know, they want to go back to school and it be normal. But I think we also have to get into the mindset of a new normal. There are some things that I think that are never going to change. I think social distancing and masks, I think we're kind of at this point where we're going to be there for a while.
Yeah. I definitely think that that's going to become, I feel like masks are definitely going to become a part of our new normal.
Yeah. And I guess what I'm waiting to see as well with the, vaccine and the world changing is like, how like the US is like, oh, we require that you have this and this and this to visit. It's like, is the world going to start treating us like y'all have the plague? You have to have the vaccine to come and visit. We need negative test, like they're already asking for negative test results within a certain amount of time. So it's just I want to see how that's going to change as well. Because I definitely think it's going to change.
Yeah. I mean, those are all legitimately very good questions. I definitely think travel is going to be probably one of the most changed forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I definitely think that regardless of whatever, the vaccine and all that, I definitely think the travel industry, I think masks are just going to be a forever thing when it comes to travel. I think, it was already a practice, I think, in some of like the Asian cultures and things like that. Cause I remember when I flew through China, they already, were wearing masks and things of that nature. So, in some parts of the country, it was already a regular part of their life anyway. So yeah. I'm just wondering if for sure, it's going to kind of be the rule. And I feel like I can't see an issue, especially with airports, like I said, because those are places that are so germy anyway. I feel like, and there's so many people who are there at a certain amount of time. I can't see the issue that people would take with it. Because it's like, we got to do everything else. You got to take your shoes off, get strip searched in some place. You know what I mean? So shit, why not pop a little mask on while you go through the line? I don't.
Right. They want to check your lace front.
Exactly. So. Just add one more thing to the list.
Yeah. So it's gonna be. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
Taking a wait and see.
Yeah. But I guess I am a little bit happy, like you said, that there is going to be some relief for those, especially for the healthcare workers and for the families who have lost, family members. I watched that story with Carl Anthony Towns from Minnesota. Yeah, Minnesota Timberwolves. I always get Minnesota and Milwaukee mixed up, but yes, it's the Minnesota Timberwolves that he plays for. And how he lost his mother, and then he lost like 6 other family members to it. Yeah. It was just, I could only imagine how rough this year has been on. All right.
I didn't watch it.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was saying that I didn't watch it, but I did see it, like the headline, and I was like, that is just so sad.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, it's just good. Hopefully, like you said, we'll get to see some relief to these healthcare workers. They have, they honestly have been the heroes during this whole pandemic. Healthcare workers, first responders, even, these essential workers, grocery store employees who, day in and day out have to go in and do their job. You know what I mean? And deal with irritating ass people, because salute to them, because shit, I would have swung on somebody by now. I ain't gonna lie.
Just to be like, bro, you're not finna yell at me about putting a mask on. I just work here. I'm just telling you what you're supposed to do.
Exactly. So, salute to them.
Workers. They probably like, if she don't order all this shit at once.
Right.
I'm like, wait, blah, blah, let me get on Amazon and order it right quick.
Oh, yes, yes. Salute to them as well, okay? Because they out here handling business, getting things done when it's supposed to. Because I know good and well they probably sick of everybody ass right now with this Christmas shit. So also, I saw a really interesting story, and this was kind of like messy to me. Ray J and Princess Love, as we all know, they're going through a divorce. It's Ray J is dating someone again. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's over clearly between the two of them. But I saw that they also said that they are working on baby number 3. I guess I get it in the sense of maybe Princess is like, we make cute babies together. I want to he's a good dad. I want to have the same baby daddy. But at the same time, it's like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's weird. What you think?
Listen, I don't know. Like, I baby daddy, but at the same point, it's just like, well, why though? Y'all not together. And what type of agreement do you have that you're in a relationship with another person and they like, oh yeah, you can go have another baby? Like, it's weird to me.
Right.
I don't know. I was like, I don't think I could do it as like being a girlfriend, but you never know what arrangement they get. But even as a wife, be like, if we're not gonna be together, I don't understand the point of having another child by a person, co-parent or not. It's just like, no.
Yeah. That's what I mean. For me, like, I could never see myself doing it, but I mean, maybe she you know what, she may be going through doing the Kourtney Kardashian thing. How her and Scott have, she only wanted one baby father, so she kept having babies with Scott. So I don't know. Listen, I guess if the co-parenting relationship is that good, maybe that's why. But I'm with you. Like, I just can't see it. It just seems messy.
Yeah. And it's just like, even bringing kids into that situation, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel babies should be made out of love, not that, hey, we both want another kid, so we might as well have it with each other. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Exactly. Just a strange situation all the way around. Speaking of strange situations all the way around, I actually saw this. I didn't bring it up before, but I wanted to bring it up now just for the laughs of it. Did you see the little interview that Uncle Luke gave about how he was peer pressured into going to the strip club and that's why he caught COVID?
I did.
Foolishness. For those of y'all who don't know, Uncle Luke is like 50, 60-year-old. Like, he a big old grown man. And it just tickled me to think this big ass grown man is out here talking about he was peer pressured. What? And then what got me is other big ass grown people was actually defending it, saying you can be peer pressured. What?
Listen, I guess it was the point of like, it's the strip club. Y'all be acting like he couldn't go to Pluto or something, like the moon. Be like, bro, it's gonna be there. I don't get it. And I'm pretty sure you weren't wearing your mask.
Exactly. No mask, sharing alcohol.
Right. Laughing in people's face. I don't know. I just found it weird, and people was like, "Well, we got to get back to something." No, it's the strip club. Like, I don't get it. And then why you telling us you got COVID? You want us to be sympathetic, or you could have just kept it?
Exactly. That's an interesting concept. I wonder how Atlanta is managing to keep those numbers down with as open as they have been. We have seen literally every celeb event that has occurred in these last couple of weeks, all these little parties and all that, all been Atlanta. So I'm wondering, and those they haven't been small events either. They've been huge, 300-400 people, no masks, sharing alcohol, being no social distancing. It's interesting to see. And I don't know what Atlanta's numbers look like either, so I could be completely in the wrong. But it just seems like they have hella super spreader events down there. So I just, ugh.
And it makes me be like, are y'all really reporting like y'all supposed to be or doing what y'all supposed to be doing? Because, like, we went in June. And when I tell you, I was like, so, I mean, we went to the mall because we like, okay, this Lenox Mall. It was like COVID wasn't even out. We was like, yeah, we just gonna go head back to the hotel early. I'm realizing, thinking, I'm like, okay, COVID out, the mall ain't gonna be dead packed or whatever. Girl, it was like jam packed. And I was like, I wasn't expecting this. We can go ahead and head back to the hotel. I didn't know it was gonna be like this. And the mask, like a lot of people had on masks, and I did appreciate, I think, like they were one of the first places that I had been to, like during the pandemic, where like you can go to like the security station and pick up masks. There were like little kiosks in the middle of the mall that would give you a mask for like free. But it was still a lot of people walking around, they had no mask on. It was pulled down. Their nose one covered, mouth one covered. It was just weird.
Right.
I will say it. Like I was like, so y'all not gonna act like we got corona going around? I'm just like, maybe I'm wrong. So yeah, we just gonna leave. But yeah, like even the restaurant we went and ate at, I'm like, y'all gonna see somebody right behind us?
Oh, see, no, I would have felt the way.
Hey. And I mean, this was not like, Longhorn, Texas Road. We was at Morton. So I'm like, you just gonna sit some, listen, wrap me up, but just, we gonna get hours to go. As soon as they said somebody behind us, I'm like, it was good. We was already getting ready to go anyway. Just go ahead and wrap this up quick. It was just, like I said, it was weird. For what I've heard, it's still no different. And of course, we see how they have these huge ass events. And I guess it's weird because when you see like Regina and her birthday party, and they're like, oh, we got tested. But man, just because you get tested don't mean you can't pick it up in the meantime.
That is my biggest thing too, because I'm like their whole defense to it is, well, everybody is required to take a test, or we taking temperatures and blah blah blah. But yeah, like that don't mean that somebody can't be asymptomatic. That doesn't mean, you know what I mean? Like I mean, we just saw Regina, like you said, had her party, and now her stepdaddy has it. So my guess is he had to have picked it up at that event. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And that's why I'm like, no, ma'am. And then when you see it's like, okay, even if you're gonna be out at a party, why y'all ain't got no mask on? And they even got the clear ones where you can still see your makeup popping and everything. Why you ain't got no mask on?
It's hey, listen, folks is different. All I gotta say is, truth be told, I don't give a fuck what you do. If you want to go out and do you, but do not get your ass on social media then and start, oh, COVID is real and blah blah. Make sure y'all follow the rule. I didn't believe in it at first, but no, don't come on here looking for no fucking sympathy or asking people to pray for you. None of that shit, because you as a big ass grown adult made a decision. You felt like you had to be outside. Cool, fine, do you. But if you come out with COVID, or somebody close to you come out with COVID, don't come out here and then all of a sudden COVID real and y'all make sure y'all wearing y'all mask. No, don't preach to me, bro. I already know.
Like, we knew that. We knew that.
All right, so basically these last couple weeks there have been really two big dramas. Wait. Before we jump into those two, did you see? I know you were talking about it, that you the whole T.I. thing again, with him putting his foot in his mouth, with the whole the when he spends time with his daughter, he calls it him and Lil Duval, which is not surprising. They call it their thought prevention hour.
Yeah, I saw that, and it didn't shock me that it came out of T.I.'s mouth. I guess, I don't know. Well, it didn't shock me that it came out of his mouth. It shocked me that he hadn't learned from the last incident to shut the fuck up. Like, bro, you understand you talking about she has to hear this. You're talking about spending time with her is stop prevention out.
Right.
Bonding with her, like, oh, I don't want my daughter to be a thought. So this is why I'm spending time with her.
Yeah. Listen, at this point, I'm just with T.I. It's sad that I got, like, I wasn't even a shock to it. You know what I mean? Like, it was just like, oh, okay, this is another T.I. moment. This is another thing that he says. In all honesty, like, if we start to like really look at it and think about it, just going back to even when he first first start seeing like the little family hustle thing, and how he was with Tiny and how controlling he is, how much mansplaining he does. How misogynist he is. Like, at this point, when it comes to the thing, I honestly feel like he must hate women. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah. It's just, like I said, I wasn't shocked that he said it. It was just like, bro, shut up. And it's not making it any better. And then you have another young daughter that's coming up. I don't get it. I'm like, so why do you spend time with your son?
Thank you. Like, that's another thing. Like, his double standards that he holds is crazy to me. Like, as wild, and we've seen it from his own show that they have, how as wild as he allows his sons to be, and then the way that he treats his daughters is just the double standard, you know?
Yeah. And I'm like, her body is not yours to police, to even be worried about if she's a thought or not. It's just weird. And I'm like, if you would be a better man, I mean, why would your daughter be a thought? Like, I don't
speak on it. If she had a proper example of a man, you wouldn't have anything to worry about.
I'm like, but I feel like she probably want to get far away from his ass if she can.
Yeah. But have you ever noticed that though, that the kind of most low down type dudes be the most overprotective, you know what I mean, like policing a daughter type niggas, like, ugh.
Because they know how they know, well, I ain't gonna say how they get down. A lot of them still get down that way. And I guess that's what's weird about men. It's like you run through other people's daughters, but you want your daughter to be this pure, virginal type character, and you almost place her on a pedestal that she doesn't even need to be on. Not that she doesn't deserve to be on a pedestal, but not for that reason.
Right.
So it's like you have these unrealistic expectations that she needs to be a virgin before she gets, until she gets married and all of this stuff. Like, but what example did you set for her to be that way? What would she read about you in the news? Or if she Googles your name, what will come up? That you got it popping on your wife, that your jump off came to your wife on social media, just stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure she's probably privy to more information than we are. So it's like, I don't know. It's just that has always been weird to me, that men that are like that want these pure daughters, and even women, when they get through running through, all the women in the world, they want to pick up with like, oh, I don't want a woman that got a lot of miles and baggage. Be like, shit, you come with a whole fucking fleet of planes.
Woo,
and sky miles.
Listen. Speak on it, girl. That's some real shit right there.
Nigga, you got bodies.
Okay. That's another conversation that I'll never understand from men. How dare you have the audacity to say that you want a woman with, this amount of bodies, or she can't have a lot. Nigga, what? How many bodies you got?
Listen. And be serious as hell. Be like, if you don't get somewhere and sit down, and then most of them be going bald, be like, find something to do. Some road game.
Exactly. Okay. All right. So more mess. And this is probably just going to be a really quick hitter, because this was about a week or two ago. But Lil Baby apparently he cheated on his girlfriend with a porn star. Said porn star got drunk. Well, she blamed it on being drunk and hopped on Instagram and said that, she messed with Lil Baby. And of course, he did what all dudes do, that we've seen them all do in that situation. He called it cap. She pulled the receipts on his ass. And then it basically turned into a whole little debate on if she was paid, why did she feel the need to talk about it? People obviously turned and started attacking her, calling her a clout chaser. People started attacking his girlfriend, saying that she's a clown because she gonna keep taking him back, blah, blah, blah. Pretty much everybody got smoked except for Lil Baby. Like, nobody was attacking his ass. But, of course, the women were being attacked. What are your thoughts?
First of all, they definitely, all the heat should have been on his ass. Like, when people are like, you only allow, and I agree with it, you do allow or you teach people how to treat you. But I think we've all been in that position before where we just hoping that person proves us wrong one time. Be like, don't be a piece of shit just this one fucking time. I don't like the fact that she was like going back and forth on social media with chicks or like trying to make excuses for him or saying, oh, I address him in private. No, boo-boo. No, ma'am. Like, if you're going to address this other woman in public, then address him in public. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you throwing all this heat and all this smoke at this woman, like, that doesn't even have to be that way. Be like, your boyfriend was the one who fucked up. Not only did he fuck up, he paid her. And then instead of him just, letting her go on her little drunk rant and be like, you know what the fuck ever, let me handle home. This nigga go and be like, I paid you to keep quiet, so you just gonna confirm it. And she already got loose lips. So of course she gonna run back to the blogs with what you just messaged her. So it's like, the shit is embarrassing. I definitely think she gonna take him back. And I just hate that we've got to the point now where people are like, oh, I'd rather cry in a Maybach or a Rolls Royce, or I'd rather cry in Dubai than, wherever I'm from. And be like, I don't want to cry in either place.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, y'all gonna be out here crying in a fucking Rolls Royce with AIDS.
Okay. I mean, for me, I feel like it's a deeper conversation just in general, as far as for Black women, how we have, in essence, been taught, that struggle love is our love language. You know what I mean? Like, we have to endure pain. What is the saying they used to always tell us? Pain is love. Like, growing up, that's what we were taught. Pain is love. Like, you have to endure. You have to be a ride or die. You have to go through all of that struggle love stuff. So I think that a lot of these girls coming up, they, as much as progressive as we have become as a society, whether you think that's good or bad, there are still aspects, especially for us as Black women, where we just continue to kind of buy into those type of narratives. And I think that those are cycles that we have to break. Like, we have to stop believing that, being hurt and ride or dying and just struggle love in general, that's that we have to endure that somehow makes us a good woman or a better woman if we can go through that. Not to say that you can't forgive someone for cheating on you, not to say that you can't, if you're married, and you go through some type of situation like that, you can't want to work it out or things like that. Not to say that. I'm not in no shape or form saying that. If you are in love and you can work past it, then absolutely more power to you. But what I'm saying is that I feel like a lot of times we have this mindset where we feel trapped and we feel like we have to do that. And if you don't want to, or if it's not like imperative. If you feel like, fuck it, man, he fucked up, he cheated, loved them, it's gonna be hard to get over it. But I can do it. Then why not? You know what I'm saying? Don't feel like you have to stay in that situation because you gotta, ride it out with him, or he'll get better and stuff like nah, you don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Love is not painful. I don't give a fuck what nobody tell you. Love is not painful. You should not be in a relationship and be unhappy. You know what I mean? Of course, you're human beings. You're going to have disagreements. You're going to have arguments. There are going to be points when you have fights because you're two people. People do that. But you shouldn't be genuinely unhappy. Like, your spirit shouldn't feel down all the time. Like, you shouldn't be immersed in sadness when you're supposedly in love. Like, those things don't correlate. It shouldn't be painful.
Yeah. And I definitely agree. And I think you brought up a good subject about, because when we think about struggle of, a lot of times we think it's just financial, like, and which Black women are taught stay down, until he come up or whatever. But it's even struggle of that you have to stay somewhere where you're not respected. Because I think after a while, if he knows, like, this shit is embarrassing to me. You got women that are coming to me on social media, just with the hype of, oh, they been with you. I'm in Vegas with you, and you still sleeping with somebody. So it's just like, that's struggle. Like, sweetheart, no matter how you want to put it, oh, he pays the bills. If that part of his life is not agreeing with what you want, that's a struggle. If it's not healthy for you, you don't like it, you gotta be quiet and just take it. That's a struggle. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was a good point for me. It's just like, it's not just always financial.
Correct. And and my thing is too, don't always settle just because of the financial. You know what I mean? Because I think that's another thing. Like the point you brought up with girls is a lot of people are sticking to this. Well, I'd rather cry in the Bentley. The fuck? No, sis, I'd rather not cry. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck that. If you was able to get you the baller before, if you was able to land you the rich guy before, you're a beautiful girl. You'll be able to land another one. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't the only nigga out there who got money. That's another thing. Like, if that's your, I don't never knock women for looking for men with money and things of that nature, looking for providers, whatnot, whatever like that. Because like I said, that was something we talked about before too, where for, other races of women, they are taught to social climb. And for Black women, for whatever reason, it's looked down upon on us at, when Black women decide that they want to social climb. But, so I never look down at women for doing that. That's not what this conversation is. All I'm saying is that if you was able to get one before, there's another one out there, and you're a beautiful girl. You'll be able to get another one. So it's not a down, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a downgrade to walk away. That's all I'm saying.
Thanks. Yeah. And you already in that circle too. So that's why that's really make me like think about it. It's like you already in the circle, and more than likely, like Karuchi, for example, she left Chris Brown and she got, upgraded,
Yeah, exactly. Now her somebody who actually respects and cares about her, same little social circle. There wasn't no drop off for her. If anything, some people say she's doing better.
I'm pretty sure she happier. She ain't got to deal with nobody popping up outside on the curb.
Facts. All right, so let's get into this very last drama. And this one is just, I don't know. It just exploded. And it was basically off of something so simple and so little that it just left me confused. But basically, Asian Doll hopped on like her live and she played a snippet of a verse that she did for Meg Thee Stallion's album that was left off. Then next thing you know, it turned into Asian Doll versus everybody. Like, it blew way out of proportion. You had people then attacking Meg. calling her a bad friend because one, she left her off the album, but two, because she didn't hop online to defend her. Like, I was so confused on that whole aspect in general. Then I was confused how then that whole situation turned into a beef with the City Girls, because the City Girls were the ones who replaced her on that record, or who, I guess, when they put the album together, the verse they decided to go with was the one with the City Girls. So then that exploded. And then from there, it just turned into more like little beefs that exploded. We saw Rolling Ray decide to get involved in it. We saw Santana get in it. Like, it just became a whole barrage of mess from something that really started out as so simple, so plain, so basic, something that happens all the time, by the way, in the music industry. There are tons of artists who, do verses for records, and then when the other artist goes to kind of submit their album, they either change it to a different artist, or they leave the verse off, they leave the song off. Like, it happens. So, nonetheless, it was just a whole bunch of mess. What are your thoughts?
I'm so happy you broke that down, because I was lost in the sauce and I didn't know where to begin. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Why is Rolling Ray in this? And I'm like, I was just, when I say lost, and I'm trying to go back to see previous posts, and I'm like, but how did they even, what's happening? And then why is Meg in it? Like, I 100% agree with you. I'm like, it's just the music industry. They can, I mean, you can submit your verse, but what they do with it from there is like, I mean, whatever. They might dump it, they might not. I know they was saying like Meg deleted some tweets or something like that. She tweeted and then deleted. And I saw Asian Brad or Doll or whatever her name is, her sister, was like, you not a friend, or you basically a backstab or whatever. Yeah, I just think it went too far, especially with like, I'm gonna slap people in wheelchairs and Rolling Ray talking about dig up your dead baby daddy. It was too much for what it initially started out as. It's like, okay, she didn't use your verse, whatever, move on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even think that one thing that had to even be put out there, that it was a verse for Meg. Like, just move on.
Right. It was, like I said, it was such an unnecessary beef and drama that jumped off, but like, it literally just kept going, and more people just kept jumping in it and getting involved in it and all of that. In general, I just don't like the pile on Meg situation. Like, this whole narrative of how does, doing what all artists do in when you making your album, removing songs, taking artists off, switching other artists in. Like, how is that any different from any other artist, and how does that make her a bad friend? Again, I don't really know Meg's situation and all that stuff like that. I never like these narratives of like, let's pile on a Black woman for dumb shit. You know what I mean? Like, the same way they piled on Nicki for 2 years over all the
Yeah.
It's like, it's the same. It's like we're seeing the same thing now. It's like pile on Meg. It was pile on Cardi for a little bit. Now it's like pile on Meg. Like, I just don't like this narrative. Like, once a woman, especially in the hip hop world, once a woman becomes successful, it's like it immediately becomes a competition of, let me knock her down as quickly as possible.
Yep, bring her down a notch and show her who's, I guess, in charge. I don't know. Like, this shit was just weird. And I don't know. I didn't like Asia when I was watching some of her, like, live, videos or something like that. I don't know. I just wasn't feeling her. But maybe that's just me.
Yeah, she definitely took it to, in my opinion, it just took it to levels that it didn't have to go. And I feel like also on the City Girls end as well, like, they didn't even have to jump in, comment, speak on it either. I feel like they also, were doing too much as well, because at the end of the day, yes, y'all were the ones who replaced her on the song, but at the same time, it's like, You didn't have to say nothing about it. You could have just left it at what it was. Let the fans speculate on whatever they want to speculate. You don't have to play into it, or you don't have to buy into it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Ridiculous.
yeah. Whole big old mess, basically. But anywho, that is all we have for Hot Topics today. Definitely a longer one. We had some catching up to do. But we can go ahead and jump into the relationship portion of the show. Do you want to kick us off, or you want me to?
I can kick us off. I guess we'll go. I saw this debate. Of course, we've been on a little hiatus, so it's a little old. But I still think it's relevant. But the question is, why aren't marriages lasting like our grandparents' generation?
Okay. So I think, in all honesty, I think that, and this comes to my conversation or my ideas about just how progressive a lot of us have become. We are not our parents, whether people think that's good or bad or not. Millennials get a lot of flack for whatever reasons, but at the end of the day, we are not our parents' generation. Think differently. We're, in my opinion, we are far more accepting of different types of people, even though I still see some people who are obviously not as progressive. But I just honestly, I just feel like that's the difference, is that we're just more progressive now. We're thinking differently. A lot of us, are understanding that we don't have to be trapped in unhealthy, unloving relationships, that we are worthy and deserve, to be loved the way that we and respected. Let me add that in there. We deserve to be loved and respected in the way that we want. And so that's why I think that that's the difference. We're just not our parents' generation. A lot of them, are still under the thought process of bury things under the rug, push through it. If he cheats or if he has an outside family or another baby, we just gonna ignore it and just ride it out. And I just feel like we don't play them games no more. Like, that's just not the case. What about yourself?
I definitely agree with you. I think we have now grown to a society, especially with women. We have more education, more options. We're making more money, even though we're not on par with men. It's still more, and even more career options. Like, you're not stuck being a teacher or a nurse. So I think that's one of the biggest things. And we do recognize, it's not that stigma on divorce. Like, I think it's still stigmatized somewhere. It's like, oh, you're getting a divorce, but it's not as much as like, oh, I failed getting a divorce. About it's just realized that, listen, even in some cases where it's not a bad divorce, it's like we're just not working out. So I think it's like, I don't have to be here. Or if, like you said, if you're not respecting me, you're not respecting this relationship, our, marriage, our home, then hey, let's go ahead and call it quits, and you go your separate ways, I go my separate way, and we just call it a day. Everybody's not going to be like your grandmama. They're just going to be like, okay, well, I'm going to have to take it because I don't have any skills.
Right.
Like, even just taking my grandmama, for example, just putting it out there, shit, my grandmama left my granddaddy for cheating. He had a child. She was like, I was making my own money. I was a seamstress and a baker. I left.
Correct. She had
options. Right. She was like, I took my kids and I left. You know what I'm saying? I was like, because she did have the option. Like, I don't have to stick around and stay with him just because he pays the bills. Because a lot of times that was the reason why he paid the bills. And a lot of our grandparents cried in the bathroom because shit was fucked up.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, yeah. And I mean, that goes for men too, because it was a lot of women that I'm like, y'all try to talk about young girls these days, but baby, if paternity court was a thing back in the 60s,
listen, woo, speak on it.
Like, y'all was getting it popping too, Mabel. Now, you know that man ain't that boy daddy, and you just let him claim him, but okay.
Right. That's another thing that I'd be tired of hearing. We could literally debate it or talk about this, um, you know, till we both blew in the face. But this whole like generational debate, oh, y'all millennials are the worst, and y'all do all this, and y'all did all that, and blah blah blah. What? Y'all act like y'all didn't do all this and do all that. Like all the same stuff we did, y'all did. Y'all just didn't have it broadcasted on social media. Let's be honest.
Listen, when I be listening to like some of my older aunties talk, I'm like, y'all nasty. like, and when you add up timelines, you be like, so if you was married with him and then you had this baby, how did it work? And your mama be like, be quiet. I'm like, I got questions that need answers because it ain't adding up in my head the right way.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm like, y'all was loose.
Mm-hmm. So y'all just need to come on around and stop judging these young folks. Stop judging. That's all. All right. So let me ask my question for this week. So my question is, what is your go-to after a breakup?
I think I go in like isolation. I'm like, okay, like separate myself from everybody. And sweets. That's like, be like, I want some gummy bears, a Sprite, and I don't want to talk to nobody. Yeah, that is like my big go-to. And then I kind of go from there to like, okay, I'm going to go and party with my girls and drink. Which is probably not the healthiest thing, but I do.
Okay.
Yeah. How about yourself?
So I definitely don't like to speak to people. I'm with you on that. Like, don't talk to me. I just need my space. But definitely, I vibe out on like music, and like I'll start watching like sci-fi stuff, or I'll watch something that I know like makes me, because I don't want to cry over a breakup, but at the same time I feel like I need to shed some tears. So like I'll find like something that I know makes me cry every single time, and I'll watch that just to kind of get some type of emotion out. But I'm definitely like, I'm heavy on the music. Like you'll hear me anytime I'm in any type of like any mood, especially like breakups or just anything. Like I'll run to like put on some records and just vibe out to it. Like I remember the last situation that I had, I threw on some heavy. Like I was like, man, fuck this. I'm gonna listen to this that Party Next Door Savage Mode and shit. Like, yeah, nigga, you should, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't even care. But yeah, so that's my go-to after breakup.
Okay. You have like a movie or like a TV show or a song that's just like does it every time?
So like as far as when it comes to like if I just need a good cry, like there's certain like the things that I'll watch that'll make me cry every time, and this is so pathetic and I really don't want to tell people this, but I cry every single time. You remember the movie My Girl, where Veda goes to where her best friend Thomas J dies, and she goes to his funeral and she pops up in the middle, she like talking, that shit makes me cry every single time. Like every time. I've seen that movie 1,000 times. I know Thomas J gonna die every time. But every single time, like I be sitting there like, Veda, don't cry, sis. I know he died. I know you love Thomas. You know what I mean? Like I cry every single time. So that's like my go-to. Like if I know I need a good cry, I won't watch. All right. Do you want to ask your second question? Or you want to save it?
Sure can. We'll save it.
Okay. All right. So then let's go ahead and really quickly let's get into any like new music, books, TV, anything that you just want to get off your chest.
The only thing that I've picked up and started watching is Real Housewives of Atlanta, of course, in true fashion. I dropped out on watching it. So I am like, I was 3 seasons behind. Now I'm only like 1.5. child, when I say a miss. And I kind of see like now, I know the whole Nene Leakes like meltdown about her not coming back, which I feel like was a fucking mistake. But I can definitely see how that shift kind of came where she was kind of like not on the show, or they wanted to bring her in as just a girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't like Kenya Moore. Like, I don't like her.
Right.
And I'm like, hopefully this is just her personality for TV and this is not her real personality. She's just evil and like beyond messy and petty. Like, all of them can be messy and with a little dab of petty. But she's just beyond it. It's just like straight up evil.
Okay.
So, I'm gonna see about this new season probably tomorrow or something. Yeah. But I finally finished half and half and I felt so sad about it. I'm like, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel.
It makes me upset because I hate that, like, how it ended.
Yeah.
You know? Because I feel like, because at the time, you know, that was when the whole CW and WB did their merger, and that's where they kind of dumped all of like the black shows, and they were actually supposed to get another season so we could at least find out who Mona chose and all that stuff like that. But I just hate how it ended.
Yeah, I agree. This, I was like, should I go back and watch this all over again? I don't know. But it's definitely one of those shows where, like, I can definitely watch it again, though. Like,
Yeah.
no.
I enjoy, like, that's one, I agree with you. Like, that's one show that I liked from beginning to, like, there wasn't like a season or episode that I felt like I had to skip or I didn't like. Like, I liked that from beginning to end. Like, with Moesha, I told you I had to completely skip the last season with Ray J. Ray J ruined every fucking show. I'm not gonna lie to you. He ruined every fucking show. Come on, I'm telling you. When Ray J arrives on the show, it's over.
Be like, this is the death of it.
But think about it. When he arrived on Moesha, it was like, oh, okay, I don't even want to see this no more. When he arrived on One-on-One, that last season was a complete horrible mess. Like, they should have just ended it when she graduated high school. Like, no, we didn't need this season. But I mean, it just, all in all, I'm telling you, if you see Ray J enter the chat, show over.
He the killer.
Absolutely. And so then I guess for me, on that whole tip, I haven't really picked up any new TV. Been kind of doing the same old. Grey's in you know, A Million Little Things, Station 19, all of that. They just did their season finale. I haven't been streaming anything new. I've been watching like old episodes of just shows that I like. Like, I've been watching old episodes of The Game still. Went back and started watching old seasons of The Flash. Like, just stuff that I've already watched a million times. So I'm rewatching or stuff like, because it's just been boring. I'm always watching Bob's Burgers. It's one of my favorite shows when I need a good laugh. And then as far as music, I listen, I have been in like this P&D space. I don't know what it is, man, but because I know it took a while for Party to like release some new stuff, whatever like that. But boy, when Party released some shit, like, it's like you sit on it for a while, then you come back to it, and all of a sudden it's like, I like it. Like,
listen,
telling you, boy. Because I didn't even initially, you know, that song he did with Drake, that Loyal song, I didn't really like it. But I don't know why, for some reason, like, I went back to it and I was like, I don't know though. This kind of a little bop. You know, like, no. And then look, that Savage Anthem. That Savage Anthem is just that. It's a Savage Anthem. Like, I see why dudes be out here like playing that shit, because when I listen to it, my feelings be hurt. I be like, God dang. So, but nonetheless, that's where I've been at with the whole music thing. Let me go ahead with that and jump into the nerd moment of the week. So these are kind of a culmination of a couple of different things that have happened probably over the past 2 weeks. So good news, Ava, why do I always mess up her last name? Ava DaVarney, always fuck up her last name. Anyway, she has been tapped to bring DC Comics Naomi to the CW. So I'm excited for that because she is a phenomenal director. So I can't wait to see what she does with that. They've also got a WonderGirl show in the works over at the CW. And what I like that I'm hearing about it is that they are looking to cast an indigenous Brazilian woman for the lead. So I'm excited about that. Diversity is always a beautiful thing. And, sticking to not whitewashing characters is a great thing. So I'm excited for that. There have been tons of trailers that have come out. We got another Batwoman trailer. That looks like it's going to be an awesome season over there on the CW as well. We got a trailer for Loki. We got another trailer for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And then lastly, over on the Disney Plus area as well, we saw that it was confirmed that Hayden Christiansen, he is set to reprise his role as Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader in the new Obi-Wan Disney Plus show. So all good things coming out. So a lot of news around that forefront or whatever. So a lot of good nerd things coming out. A lot of good nerd shows coming out as well. So all good things. And that's the, nerd moment of the week for me. Anything else on your end, Falan DeAnn?
Nothing else on my end.
All right. So then, per usual, we want to thank you guys so much for listening and tuning in. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you hit up the website, prettynerdspodcast.com. That's nerds with a Z. And we will talk to you guys later. Good night, guys.